Yes, I haven't posted in a while. I was gonna say I know, but I have clowns in my circle who would absolutely climb into me, so I'm not gonna do that. But I will do this. I've been listening to, I wouldn't call them teachings, but just content on the importance of words, and especially specifically on how we speak to ourselves. Right? Okay, why am I in this dark looking car? Why is there no background? We're in the middle of load shedding. And I'm in the garage. It's the only way that I can actually shoot with the light on without looking weird, because we've got a very overzealous neighborhood watch. Okay. But in any case, one of the videos just spoke about what we say about ourselves, how we speak to ourselves. Now, if whether you're religious or not, right? For instance, the God I serve, right, the God that I believe in, spoke the world into being, right? If you go back to the book of Genesis, it'll tell you that he actually said, "Let there be, let there be," and he was literally speaking stuff into being. And if you believe that you are made of in his likeness, that means that when you speak, to a large extent, you have that likeness, right? You have the ability to shape your world because your words shape your thoughts. Um, Take a quick example. Look at the things that your thoughts revolve around, and look at whether those things are present in your life. I took, for instance, make it simple. Take your favorite car. Purposefully dwell on the thought of that car, right? Like, dwell on it. What do I want, right? For instance, I know, for instance, that I'm an Audi person, so I want an Audi S3, right? And it's a crazy thing. You'll start driving around, and you'll start noticing there's a whole lot of Audi S3s that I did not notice before. It's not like they magically appeared out of nowhere. It's just that your thoughts are now stayed on it. Your thoughts and your mind is now calibrated for finding it. Wherever it is, it's like I will see it. They've been around you the entire time. You've just not been paying attention to them because now your thoughts are fixated on it. And that makes me wonder, what are the things that we're fixated upon, right? What are the thoughts that are constantly playing in our minds on repeat all the time that we've probably spoken into being, right? So as a man thinketh, so is he, right? Your words are incredibly powerful. There's always that question when somebody asks you, "Who are you?" Right? And we always take it lightly, like, "Oh, who am I?" Then we rattle off some rehearsed script about, "This is what I do, this is where I stay, this is what I studied." But if you actually play around, because I love playing around with words, I like the play of words. It's not who is you, it's who are you. So like extent, it's almost asking, who are they that make up you? In terms of what echo chambers are you sitting in, right? Like, who are you talking to? Who are you listening to all the time? Because they have the ability with their words, just with their words, never mind their actions, just with their words, to shape the way that you think. For instance, if you have somebody who struggles with something, if that's constantly top of mind, that's all they're talking about the entire time, they're literally they're rehearsing that the entire time into thoughts, and then their thoughts fixated, and that's all they see, right? You could have somebody who's got a brilliant job, who has an amazing family, but they've got a poverty mindset. That's all they'll see. They'll see lack in everything. "Oh, look at how this is expensive, and this is expensive, and this is bad. Oh, the economy is bad. Oh, we're getting sick." Whatever they fixate upon becomes their thought pattern, and then your thoughts, to a large extent, shape the lens that which you see your world. Literally, you just dwell on that the entire time. And if you believe, like I said, if you're a believer or if you're religious, you know the power of words, right? Life and death are in the power of the tongue, right? And if that is the case, what are you saying the entire time? Have you listened to yourself speak sometimes? "Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's this." I'll make a funny thing. You know how we always joke about dating is an extreme sport. If that's what you're constantly saying, I love what Bishop T.D. Jakes says. He says, "You generally get what you expect." What are you expecting? What are you constantly saying about the state of your work or your health or even your relationships, whether it's with family, with colleagues, or with significant others? What are you speaking into being? Because you're made in the likeness of the one who spoke stuff into being, right? That means to a large extent you have the power to actually speak things into being. And there you are, creating a world of chaos for yourself. What if you started saying, instead of saying, You know, I'm so tired of being broke, because you're literally always saying broke, broke. That's literally coming out of your mindset or your mouth. I used to laugh at people who used to say abundantly blessed, right? And people were like, oh, there goes the super saints, right? But I get it now. I'm speaking my reality into being. First and foremost, I'm shaping my thought pattern, because I can hear myself talking the entire time to me about myself. And then because I'm believing and I'm setting those words out in faith, I can shape my world. I know it sounds borderline heretic, right? And if it is, forgive me. But I'm willing to try that. I want to change deliberately the way that I talk to myself. Instead of saying, oh, you idiot. No, you brilliant person. You brilliant person. The entire time. I've got a friend who does that. She's brilliant at it. Like, she's amazing at being her own cheerleader, right? And I used to sometimes low-key be like, okay, that's a little bit much. But now I get it. I get what she's doing. She was literally speaking her life, the life that she desires, into being. And guess what? The stuff that she speaks into being, she's been saying over and over and over. It's showing up in her life. We can see it. Now imagine if we started doing that. The next time even when we joke around, and I get it, I'm not trying to say let's all be super, uptight, but watch the things that you joke about when it comes to your life. Imagine me if I was in what are the chances of me? Those things, what are the chances? Can you see how self-depreciating that is? Like, what if instead you're like, yeah, the chances of me doing that are very high. You're gonna come off arrogant, I know. And the ones who don't understand, who don't get it, what you're trying to do, that you're trying to build a life with your words. Because when you start believing your own words, they become thoughts, and then thoughts become habits, and habits become systems, and systems become your life. They become a lifestyle. Imagine if you talk yourself into a whole new life, a whole different other kind of life. Because now, once you start rehearsing these things, guess what? You start learning about things. Like, I'm trying to learn about investing, right? I used to be like, what are the chances of me understanding the stock market? Guess what? I started actually telling myself, no, actually, I can learn this. I remember somebody listening to a video, and this guy was like, you can learn this. At some point, whoever's teaching about this didn't know about the stock market. You can learn this. It's not rocket science. It'll take time, but you can learn it. And when I started believing, yeah, I can actually understand this, I can learn this, guess what? I started understanding some of the stuff. I'm like, I'm not there yet. I'm not a guru. I'm not about to tell you that I've made, $1 billion, but I can learn the fundamentals, and from the fundamentals and the basics, I will progress. But I keep telling myself, I can learn this. I can learn this. What are the things that you're telling yourself? Because if they're not positive, I can guarantee you that your life will not be positive in any kind of way. Like, you're not going to speak negatively and expect positive outcomes. That it doesn't work. That's not how it works. What are you saying to yourself and about yourself? Like, if I tell you right now, oh, you're ugly, for some odd reason we gravitate towards it. But what if I told you that you were smart, you're intelligent, you were damn good looking, like you are the best thing, you're the best version of you that could ever be. Like, the world will never get to see a version of you like the version that we get to see now. Like, you're a once in a lifetime limited, like you're a limited edition. That's it. They don't make another one like you. And you carry yourself that way. What are you saying to yourself? Who are you? Be careful of the people and the echo rooms, the circles that you sit in. If those circles, if the echo chambers that you're sitting in, if the conversations that you're consistently just sitting in are not focused or are not helping you shape the life that you want, you need to do some serious conversation. Like, you need to sit down with those circles and say, listen, guys, I don't like how we're talking. I don't like the conversations we have. They're all centered around us lacking and not having enough and not being enough. Either A, we change, this whole circle change, or I'm gonna need to find a new circle. And I know it's we hate it when people say you need to let them go, but actually sometimes you actually need to do that. You need to pull an Abraham. Get out of the land that you're from. Get out of your familiar surroundings. You may need to find yourself in circles where the conversation is a lot different. Because if the conversations that you're having consistently in your circles, in your echo chambers, you're constantly hearing about how bad things are and how they're getting from bad to worse, guess what? That's all you start to see. You could be in a land of abundance, in a season of abundance, but all you can see is how bad it is. Oh, it's bad. The economy is terrible. Do you know that as terrible as the economy might be, there are people who are still making money, who are still prospering? It's crazy. If you don't believe me, just when you're driving, look on the freeway how many new cars you're seeing. I've seen a lot of new cars. I'm like, hey, that's a new car. There's no number plate. That's a temporary registration. I'm like, hang on, this guy went and bought a whole new car in the middle of this economy, because that person is pretty much decided in their head whether the economy is up or down. I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna live a specific kind of way. Like, I'm gonna live a certain kind of way. Can you do that for yourself? You owe it to yourself. Just try it. Just try it. You've done the whole negative talking and it's shown you that yes, things are negative. What if you just try the other way around and said, let me try this word game thing and say, listen, I am abundantly blessed. I am extraordinarily healthy. For my age, whenever everybody looks around, I am the benchmark. I am the standard for health, for mentality, for mindset, for how well we're doing at home. I'm the benchmark. At first, it's going to sound like you're crazy to yourself, and that's okay. But sometimes you got to drink your own Kool-Aid. Say it long enough, and the craziest thing is that you're going to start to adopt habits that support that. You're going to start reading stuff that actually supports your type of thinking and what you believe in. And soon enough, you're going to look around and you're going to actually be living like what you said about yourself. It's a crazy thing. You can talk yourself into a whole new life. Talk yourself into a whole new identity. It's possible. I mean, you've seen you've seen what happens when you speak negatively. You might as well try the other way. You might as well try the other way and say, let's see what happens. You've got nothing to lose. It's just words. You've got nothing to lose. It costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to believe differently about yourself, to speak differently to yourself and about yourself. The next time somebody is asking you about yourself, just go crazy. Just bring out the credit card of amazing and positive thinking and just max it out on yourself. Max it out on yourself. There's a project that I'm working on, which is what's taking up my time and why I'm not posting. But I'm not going to say what it is about, because I've also learned a powerful statement that says, it's basically about, don't say anything until it's done, right? Say nothing until it's done, right? And when I finally tell you guys what it's about, it'll be sorted, it'll be running, right? It'll be available, and it's me being absolutely vulnerable, putting myself out there, right? This project, it could fail horribly, disastrously, but at the same time, I also realize that by virtue of doing it, I've already done the thing that I set out to do, because I told myself I can do this thing. I can learn how to do it. This is only the first of many. I'm gonna figure it out. If this one doesn't work, I'm gonna figure out how to do it better the next time, and the next time, and the next time, until I get it right. Right? Who are you? The conversations that you are involved in, the echo chambers that you sit in, the content that you listen to. If it's not building you, if it's discouraging you, for goodness sake, change it. Change it. We've got nothing to lose, right? And those who are rolling their eyes about positive thinking, trust me, positive thinking is you'd be amazed at what it can actually do for you. Read words, fill your heart and your mind with content that builds rather than actually tears you down. Just try it. You've got nothing to lose. So who are you? Take a look at the stuff that you're constantly listening to on loop. Yeah, I'm jealous of the pandemic. No, love is beautiful. Love is amazing. Imagine that's your story. That in a generation that is cynical, right, and pessimistic about love and lasting love, right, that endures. What if you're the one that's going to be the blueprint? But you kind of have to believe it. Because imagine you meet the person that believes in love, and there you are with your negative, pessimistic self. They're literally going to have a 5-minute conversation. You're going to be like, I'm out. I do not need all of that. That is negative and pessimistic. I'm going to look for somebody who has the same mindset as me. Some of you are missing out on amazing people just because of your mindset, because of your expectation. But if you went out there and you thought, hey, listen, I'm going to meet amazing people. We've got another couple of months left in this year. What if, just saying, what if you change your expectations in whatever area of your life? Some of you are going to meet amazing people that are going to blow your mind. You're going to be like, what? I can't believe this happened. But you have to expect it, because you generally get what you expect. So who are you? Stop listening to these gossip things on whatever channels you're listening to, talking about how, scandalous people's lives are. That's why some of your lives are scandalous, because you're constantly feeding yourself with scandalous content. Find stuff that is building. Look at content that looks like what you want, and not from an envious perspective, but like look to learn. How do they sound? Like the people that I'm trying to be like, or who I admire. What do they read? What are their habits? How do they speak? How do they carry themselves? And literally just copy and paste. Obviously make it your own, but learn from somebody. Like take a note, a page out of their life, and be like, oh listen, this guy gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Let me try it. It's gonna be rough. Let me try it. Let's see how that changes my life. Oh, this person eats a certain type of way. Okay, let me try it. Let me see what happens. What have I got to lose? Oh, this person is constantly reading. They're always talking about, oh, I'm reading this and I'm reading that. Like Twitter cannot be your I read for the day. No. Pick up a book. Upgrade yourself. Who are you? Words matter. The words that you speak to yourself specifically, they matter. Because you are literally shaping yourself. You're shaping your thoughts. As a man thinketh, so is he. You're shaping yourself. What are you saying to yourself? How do you think about yourself? Words. Who are you? Love you guys.